People have always struggled to answer the question, what is it that makes us happy?
Would you like an apple?
No, I'm good. Thanks. What is it that gives us fulfillment? Are we satisfied with our day-to-day lives, or are we constantly searching for some sort of answer? What is the most important thing in life?
I find the most important thing in my life is that I feel that I've done something every day or like every week that helps better someone else's life.
Maybe life itself?
Being able to be creative.
Food.
Besides food, probably family and friends, and people, relationships.
Because if we didn't have food, we wouldn't eat anything, and food makes you stay alive, right?
How has your career shaped you as a person?
My career shaped me as a person in that it has become an identity. I identify myself as a musician.
Well, I never thought I'd be a teacher. It wasn't something I dreamed of doing, and I didn't start doing it till I was in my early 30s.
I did a lot of different things until I started teaching. But the 20 years I taught, I think really made me a better person.
As a music teacher, I find that I'm musician first and teacher a very close second. And in large part, that's who I am.
Teaching has certainly made me more confident, because when you are there with a group of teenage students, you better be confident and probably more honest as well, because I don't think you can be fake with a group of students.
I've worked with some very good people from every race in every part of the province, and both in the US and Canada. I'm glad that I've got a career that fits well with what I'm doing, and it has its challenges, and there are people that have their own agendas in politics, but there are still a lot of good people out there, and I've been involved with many good positive things, and I'm fortunate for that.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be two things. I wanted to be a dinosaur expert and a Pokemon trainer.
I totally wanted to be a vet. Working at a vet's office now, not so much. I like what I do, but I don't think I could, do any of the medical stuff.
I wanted to grow up and be in the Air Force and fly fighter planes. I think like a lot of young kids, I had dreams of excitement and wanting to blast around in the sky and be like the people I saw in the movies.
I wanted to become a diplomat, working for the Canadian government somewhere in countries. I like it traveling. I was interested by traveling. And I came very close to that, but something happened and I changed, and I never regretted it, but this was I wanted to become when I was maybe 18.
When I was a teenager, I wanted to be a politician. Yeah, when I was 15, I was like, I'm going to be Prime Minister. Now I think, I can never do that job, it'd be too stressful.
Where do you want to be in 20 years?
Disneyland.
Happy. I don't care about details, I just want to be happy, and whatever that means.
I just want to do anything. I want to constantly reinvent myself.
I hope to be an actor in the future, but I don't really have any backup yet.
I want to be a teacher in 20 years.
I would love to have my own fashion design empire.
I don't know, I don't really think that far ahead. I'd like to still be in good health. I'm having a baby in a couple of weeks, so I'd like to be around for my 20-year-old.
What is one distinct thing from your past that has affected your life today?
When you look at your past, it's all these cumulative events that come through, but just thinking off the top of my head, probably my parents, how I was raised, sort of values that were instilled in me. My parents were very curious people.
When I was 14, I made a choice to move from living with my mom to live with my dad so that I could go to a performing arts high school. And that choice has really set me up for a whole bunch of other decisions and opportunities later. And now I am where I am today, I think, out of that choice a long time ago.
Education, I have to say. It's not because I'm a teacher, and I didn't think I would become a teacher, but I came from a pretty underprivileged background, and but I had a chance to go to a very good school, and I got to like education. I didn't mind going to school, and this really changed my life.
My mother abused me when I was little, and I think that it's affected me primarily in negative ways, but maybe some positive ways as well. It's made me more self-reliant, but have much lower self-esteem, and it's led me into some bad relationships because I didn't believe that I was worth more.
Losing my parents, it was pretty tragic and traumatic, but trying to look at that on the positive too, what it did was leave me with growing up on a First Nations reserve, an Indian reserve, and having a chance to not have to lie about my ancestry and be accepted by my people and develop some stronger cultural pride. It was a good experience in that way.
They say ocelots makes the heart grow fonder, but I can't help.
What is your opinion about love?
Love means finding something that you very strongly connect with, and that you, or a person, or an activity, or a hobby, or something that really gets you really fired up and has you wanting to engage in that activity or be around that person without any hesitation.
Love is something we want, but it's a very untangible. So therefore, people give the meaning they want to it, and sometimes it's a bit of an illusion.
It's more than just a feeling or an emotion. It's the fact that you would do anything for someone.
Hopefully finding the right people so that that love is reciprocated. It's important to love others, but it's important to feel loved as well.
Being able to communicate and really share something special with another person.
Do you think you'll ever fall in love?
No. Don't ask that question. That's a bad question.
I read in a book once that to love is to value more than anything else. And I think that's true, because I mean, when we say value, we generally think of like the value of the dollar, the value of a diamond or something, but like true value, like I value my writing because I love writing. I value my writing because I love to write.
I think you have different states or different types of love that you can feel. Like, I think it was actually the Romans who had like, they have agape or something. They've got like all these different varieties, and one is like familial love, the love you feel towards your family, and the other is like passionate love. And then they have like this definition of true love, which is not necessarily, you know, sexual or romantic, but it's more just like you're willing to stick with someone forever, even if they do something stupid. And almost more importantly, you're willing to tell them, you know, you're doing something stupid.
There's no point pretending that you won't.
What do you think about death?
But you're still a symbol.
Death? Death is basically what defines us.
Mainly because no one really knows what's going to happen after. At least people think they do.
I think that whatever happens when you die, whatever you think is going to happen is going to happen. I mean, I don't necessarily believe that, but it's almost like you can never tell like what's actually going to happen.
What does death mean?
I think death is something that a lot of people struggle with. It can sometimes be really difficult for people to understand how your life changes so rapidly when someone else's has ended.
Well, I don't really know what death, I've never heard the word death before.
It's coming for all of us.
Death is just another adventure, and sometimes death can be very scary to me, the unknown and not knowing. But if I think of it as an adventure, and if I think of it as like, I'm going to do good then, it's not as scary anymore.
I think if we weren't going to die, maybe life wouldn't be as interesting. So it's kind of one of those double-edged swords. No, I don't think any of us really want to die, and yet because we know we're going to, we better make the most of the life that we have.
It happens to all things, all living things, and but we're the only ones who actually are conscious that it's going to happen. And I think that some people obsess about it really a lot.
No longer living to me is not scary, because it's, I mean, I like biology, so the way I look at it strictly from a scientific point is, you know, it's just another function of the body that needs to go through in its life cycle. It's your body shutting down and kind of ending its cycle as a body.
And in terms of, I don't know, after death, I think that we just die, and unfortunately we have to get preserved and everything, but what I would wish is to be buried in the ground so that I could break up completely and be decomposed, and in that very non-flaky sense, reborn, having my molecules redistributed into other living and non-living things.
That was baby apple.
Do you feel fulfilled?
I would say I'm working towards fulfilling my life.
Not entirely, but getting there.
Not right now, but I figure I've got a good 70 years left to figure that out. Yes.
I feel like I'm in a good place in my life right now, and I should keep moving forward.
I'm pretty much at the top, man. I'm pretty fulfilled.
You know, never fulfill 100%.
I can look back and say, oh, I could have taken this path, or I could have taken this path, but I didn't. And any path you go on, you kind of have to make peace with it, I think, in order to get to a point where you say, this is what I've chosen, and it's the best thing I'm doing at the moment, and you find the joys within it.
Content. I feel content with where I am, that I will feel fulfilled in the near future.